Good Saturday morning. I'm going to I want to read this part of the letter to the Philippians. This is a powerful text. Good grief. Yeah, he's facing life and death. He's looking square into the reality of martyrdom. And he's encouraging the church of Philippi. Look what he says. As long as in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is being proclaimed, in that I rejoice. However it's proclaimed. Indeed, I shall continue to rejoice, for I know that this will result in deliverance for me through your prayers and support for the Spirit of Jesus Christ. This is really where he takes off. Watch what he says. My eager expectation and hope is that I shall not be put to shame in any way, but that with all boldness, remember he's in prison, now as always, Christ will be magnified in my body, whether by life or death. That Christ will be magnified, in my body, whether by life or death. Here's one of the most famous lines in the New Testament. For to me, life is Christ, and death is gain. If I go on living in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me. And I do not know which I shall choose. I am caught between the two. I long to depart this life and be with Christ, but that is far better. Yet that I remain in the flesh is more necessary for your benefit. This I know with confidence, that I shall remain and continue in the service of all of you for your progress and joy in the faith, so that your boasting in Christ Jesus may abound on account of me when I come to you again. That's nice, isn't it? See? Yeah. You think of that, whether he yearns to go to heaven, but he's called to the service of the church, you see. And I think those of us I think we all are, by our own baptism, we are called to that very spirit. We're called to serve the church, the human community. By our lives, the way we live our lives, and the vocations we have been called to, whether it's parenting, spousal, mind, priesthood, or religious life, professoriate, whatever it may be, that we serve it well, that we serve the church well, and that's the people of God. It's not an institution, it's a community of faith, either explicit or implicit community of faith. It's the world we seek to evangelize with others evangelizing. See, he's talking to a community of believers, but with the purpose of, in a sense, preaching the gospel to the world. And in community in and through community with each other. And I believe that. And we have to, and in some ways, we will answer for the way we have proclaimed the gospel. In many ways, we have to answer. We've been given the gift of faith, and that gift of faith has got to be shared through love, not fear, but through love. I know, I think of that a lot, because I think of my own vocation, that I've lived it so uniquely my own way. I think Frank Sinatra's song, My Way. But I think we were never called to a conformity of stereotypes. We're called in our own uniqueness. Paul doesn't say there's some model I'm following. He knows he's called, and he does it Paul's way. Peter did it Peter's way. See? John does it John's way. You do it your way, I do it mine. But we do it with affection, not arrogance, given the lights we have been given and the mode of life we've been offered. Our vocations, and we have to do it within a deep commitment of our own person qua person, insofar as who and what we are. I believe that. And so we bring ourselves as we are the vehicle of the gospel to the world, our way. See? In our own uniqueness. There is not some stereotypical thing, but it's our way. And I think in some of our screwball ways, I think of this. Some of the best men I ever lived with in the order were some of the guys who lived mostly on the fringe. But they were so uniquely special. They were uniquely special, and I remember them and their impact on me, because they were a pleasure to live with. I told you that story when one of the men died, who was kind of he was so untypical, okay? And when the rector gave the homily at his death, he said he was a pleasure to live with. And I thought, what a great compliment. It was a pleasure to live with. Yeah. Not that he was such a saint. He was guy was a really he was a wild guy. He was a wild Indian. He was wonderful. See, but he played on the fringe. But he played on the fringe with affection and love, and he was a delight to live with. He was a great in the monastery. There was an expression, community man. If you want the highest compliment to be paid to you in the monastery, have it proclaim you are a great community man. You are a great community man. And that's the truth. I got a call coming in now. So that's the end of this little 10-minute section, whatever.